This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in places that could expose you to identity theft. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second. If your identity is stolen, their US-based restoration specialist will fix it, guaranteed or your money back. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
Entertaining and informative.
This is Sid and Friends in the Morning.
77 WABC.
President-elect Donald Trump is taking steps to fill out his staff ahead of taking office next month, and he just announced another nomination with a Georgia connection. He will nominate Bill White for ambassador to Belgium. White spearheaded the Buckhead cityhood movement, trying to break from Atlanta and make Buckhead its own city. White is from New York, but moved to Buckhead a few years ago. Also on Saturday, the president-elect tapped on Truth Social CEO Devin Nunes to head the Intelligence Advisory Board. It consists of citizens outside the federal government. He previously served as chairman of the House Intelligence Committee from 2015 to 2019. According to a social media post from the president-elect, Nunes will also continue to lead Trump Media and Technology Group.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas.
Oh, I see what you're doing here. Bill White, White Christmas. I get it, Lou. Boy, you are good, aren't you? Christmas, 9 days away. This the last week of 2024. For Sid and Friends in the Morning, dreaming of a Bill White Christmas. You know, before I get to Bill, 1 second, I woke up yesterday morning, and I do what I do most mornings. I check my Instagram account. Now, I've been friendly with Boris Epstein, who is an advisor to Trump for years. In fact, there's been rumors of screaming fights between Boris and Elon Musk during this whole nomination period. And Boris was on the show quite a bit. You may remember early on, I was trying to get Trump on, and part of the deal was I put Boris on a whole bunch till eventually Trump started showing up on a semi-regular basis. I wake up yesterday morning, and I see that Boris Epstein has followed me on Instagram. I'm like, wait a second. Known each other friendly for years. Why all of a sudden? So you know what I'm thinking right away? I'm being vetted. They must be thinking about something from me, you know. I mean, again, I can't be an ambassador. I can't get a real job. I've got a real job. I'm never leaving this job. But maybe some type of advisor. He's got to do something for me. So right away, I thought, if Epstein is following me on Instagram, they're vetting me.
Naturally, that's where you'd go, of course.
Well, where would you go? We're friends for years. All of a sudden, he starts following me now on Instagram?
It's possible he could have just thought, I'm going to follow Sid.
Why?
Because they're
you don't think my scenario is more likely?
No, it's probably they're vetting you. Sid, okay. I agree.
Oh, God. No, Bill White is going to be the ambassador to Belgium, and couldn't happen to a nicer guy. Here he is, my dear friend Bill White. Bill, good morning. How are you, pal?
Good morning, Sid. How are you? I think you're right, by the way. You know, Boris is the chief legal counsel to President Trump, and vetting is his second name. So I'd watch out for that, Sid.
I mean, why else all of a sudden, after 3 years of talking to the guy, and we talk relatively often, all of a sudden now he starts to follow me on Instagram? Why?
Yeah, no, I think you're onto something. You're always onto something. You're onto something good. And guess what? You know what, Sid? There would be several things, many things, but several things that you'd be absolutely fantastic in helping President Trump with. And one of the big things is Israel, your support of Israel-America relations, and ending all of this terrible things that are happening over there against Israel. You've been one of the greatest supporters of that mission, and he knows that. So stay tuned.
All right. I'm excited. Yes, some type of anti-Semitism thing would make sense. So the last time I saw you, Bill, turned out to be an unbelievable day and night. It really was spectacular. Last time I saw you, you were all too generous in buying about 30 people 28 gay guys and me and Danielle dinner at, at the Capitol Grill in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. And speaking that night at that rally that you put together, you spoke, you were great. Me, Bernie Kerrick, Byron Donalds, just to name a few, Dave McCormick. It was a great rally. I think we accomplished what we wanted to accomplish. The dinner was a heck of a lot of fun. Overall, that was a great time. Danielle and I really loved it, so thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Sid. I mean, you were fantastic. I have to tell you something. We got such great feedback from that. And while President Trump, went to Pennsylvania many times, did many rallies, he can't be there every day, 24/7. And what we were able to do there actually showed up in the King of Prussia precincts. Those precincts back in 2016 and 2020 and in the midterms, we looked at all those, and it was up 22% after our event in those precincts. If you remember, you got up and asked people, look, you can't just go vote. You have to get your friend, your mother, your father, and you have to track them to go vote. And so I think in a small way, because that's the way we went, I don't want to say we won because he won, but he says we won. So when he says that, I said, no, Mr. President, you won.
Right.
He says, no, we won. And he says that a lot. It's a little awkward because he won. And the way we went up 22% as we did events like that in all the key swing states, we won in Michigan, in the county that we had that event in. And that county is what put him over the top in Michigan. So he knows this. And it was just a small contribution. But Sid, you got in the car, you drove 3 hours, you drove back 3 hours. We had a great dinner with you, and everybody loved the fact that you came down there. I hope you have Dave McCormick on, because what he's going to be doing, thank God he won to get this Bob Casey out, who is the worst on Israel. Dave McCormick is going to be great on Israel, and he loves Kash Patel. Kash Patel is going to be great for Israel. There's so many things going on now.
Yep.
And getting a call, by the way, on Friday night by the next president of the United States, I think the greatest president in the history of our country. You and I both feel that way. And being asked to serve him, and of course, if confirmed by the Senate, if they're kind enough to confirm me and send Brian and I over to Belgium, we're going to do a great job for him. We're never going to let him down. And America First policies will rule. Belgium is a beautiful country. You have to come visit. Sid, maybe you bring Lou, the guys. We'll have a great party over there. We'll do the radio show live from Belgium.
Right. We'll have waffles and chocolate.
Brussels sprouts.
Yes. So wait, so when you're going to be nominated, there's no issue with you. And I really believe that the Senate will end up nominating just everybody. I even now believe that Pete Hegseth will get through, which I did not believe about 2 weeks ago. My cousin Norm Coleman doing a great job with Pete every day. But do you have to actually move, you and Brian, to Belgium?
Yes, it's a beautiful place, Brussels. That's the headquarters of a couple of things. One is NATO, is headquarters there. It is the capital of the European Union, so it's, in a sense, it's like D.C., so there's a little bit of a swamp thing going on in Brussels, where it's the headquarters of the EU. We're going to work on that. And there is a beautiful residence there that Ambassador Gidwitz, who was President Trump's ambassador the first time around, he was the CEO of Clairol. He and his wife, Christina, completely redid the ambassadorial residence. So it's pretty fabulous, I've been told. And we're very much looking forward to meeting the great people of Belgium and working on these important things. Belgium isn't paying its fair share right now to NATO, so this is one of the first things we'll have to get busy on. They pay about 1.2 to 1.3% of the 2% they are supposed to pay, which is their fair share of NATO dues. And I know that's very important to President Trump, so not to make jokes, but we're going to get that up.
Yeah, I'm always curious how the ambassadors come to where they end up. In other words, the owner of the Jets, Woody Johnson, he was the ambassador to the UK the first administration. Kimberly Guilfoyle, very recently named ambassador to Greece. That should have gone to John Katsimatidis. He's Greek, if he wants it. My friend Brian Lieb is coming into the studio in about 45 minutes, and he's got his eye on the ambassador to Hungary. And you get Belgium. What is Bill White's, I guess, connection to Brussels?
Well, I think there's a unifying connection in all these choices. You mentioned Pete Hegseth, who's a very dear friend of mine. Kash Patel has become a very good friend. I think all of these nominations are people President Trump trusts, right, for a particular position. And I think each ambassador that he's chosen serves a different purpose. And I think part of the qualifications are what you've done in business, that you've been kind of vetted out there by the media. You've been through experiences life in business, diplomacy. My work with the Intrepid, which he mentioned in the announcement, I spent a lot of time in Brussels at NATO headquarters working with our Supreme Allied Commander of NATO on military veterans affairs issues. So there's some level of experience where he believed I would be a good choice to go there. And I just have to tell you, it is amazing feeling, Sid. It's an opportunity of a lifetime. It's an honor of a lifetime. But to serve President Trump and to be a loyal advocate for his policies, I think he knows that if he puts Pete Hegseth in as Secretary of Defense, he's not going to ever have to look back. Like a lot of these choices in 2016, he says he didn't really know Washington. It's the only thing, I give it to him that he says, I wish I'd known people better before I put them in those positions in 2016. He now knows that.
Now he knows, yeah.
That's why these choices are so great.
No, they're all great.
They're so great for America.
Watching him on Saturday, President Trump, and everybody was there with him. Everybody from J.D. Vance to Daniel Penny to Will Cain at the Army-Navy game, and watching Lloyd Austin walk out during the coin flip, I was like, oh, my God, what a horrible choice that was. So, Trump has learned his lesson. I think about Brussels, and I can't help but think about years ago. I believe Barack Obama was in Cuba, and he was at a baseball game with Castro, his brother, and he's doing the wave behind home plate in Cuba with the Castro brother when there was a terrorist attack at the airport in Brussels. And I'm 99% sure, if my memory serves me correct, that there was a beautiful brother-sister combination out of New Jersey that died there that day. And no one said a damn word about it. And remember, during that time, that was when ISIS was gaining strength. They had those big attacks in Paris. And ISIS had a huge presence in Brussels. And now, after what happened with Syria a couple of weeks ago, there is some nervousness that ISIS may once again come to the surface. So I always think about Brussels, Bill, because that was kind of one of their headquarters years and years ago when they were at their strongest.
He said, "This is why Boris is vetting you, because you have." Yeah, I know it. I think Lou. I think you got it wrong. I think Sid is on to something, because you're correct and you have your facts straight. This beautiful couple. That's true, and it is very serious issue in the port of Antwerp. They are smuggling in diamonds and drugs, which end up going into the Netherlands. I spoke to Bill Bratton, who was one of our great police commissioners over the last few days of New York City, and his wife, Ricky Kleinman, who is a anti-terrorism expert on CBS News. Ricky's a great lady, and she gave me some very good advice to stay focused on. But there is a major problem of drugs coming into Antwerp, which is the port in Belgium. And not to bore your viewers this early in the morning with all that, and I'm sorry, that's a plane flying over Mar-a-Lago right now. But this is a very big issue, and the problem is, okay, why do we worry about drugs coming into the Netherlands? Well, we do because the cartels are the ones bringing the drugs in, and then the money they're making from the sale of these drugs are going to support terrorism like Hamas, like Hezbollah, like the Houthi rebels, like what's coming over our southern border. So this is a very serious issue that you brought up that we will be very focused on. if the Senate is kind enough to confirm us for this wonderful job.
You have any idea when that will actually start, the Senate proceedings?
Yeah, I'm actually told that obviously the cabinet, which is way above our pay grade here, the cabinet is the most important thing for President Trump, and those will start to proceed very quickly after he is sworn in on January 20th. And the ambassadors, I believe, for Europe should be in place if the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, which has said the schedule will be as such, by about May 1st to June 1st. So I think We'll be in at least a year before any of these ambassadors were in 2016, which is an amazing, efficient confirmation process.
That is awesome. So I guess the only question I've got now is, when you and your very, very handsome husband, Brian, jet set to Belgium and take over this very, very important position, is it okay if me and Danielle stay at your place in Mar-a-Lago when we go to Florida?
Consider it done. Consider it done. We have to keep up the membership. There's a monthly. Said you have to go have. So look, we'll set you up down here if you want. Maybe Lou. I'm not sure. Maybe John Katz would love it. So you're welcome to come anytime. But most importantly, you're going to have to schedule a trip to Belgium, because we're going to have a great time honoring great people like you in this very exciting opportunity for us to do that when we're there.
So happy for you. We will come. I swear to you. I promise you. Not if, when you are, in fact, go through the Senate and get this amazing position. I promise you we will be there. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy. I mean, you've been so loyal. Sid. You've been so loyal to Trump for so many years. It was not a matter of if he was going to give you something. It was what. And it turns out to be a heck of a position. So congratulations. You will get through the Senate, and we'll all party in Brussels before you know it. Bill White, I love you. Congratulations.
Love you, Sid. Thank you so much, and can't wait to have some fun with you and get good things done for our country.
God bless you. Thank you. That is the great Bill White. What a terrific guy. One of the nicest, smartest, loyal. I love Bill White, and he is up now for the ambassador of Belgium, which is pretty cool.